Hey guys, what is going on? Yeah, I don't think I really need to introduce myself because I'd say anybody watching would know me by this stage. Even though I only have like 30 subscribers, but this is a different little video than the usual stuff. This is actually about a little bit more about me more than anything. It's pretty much going over my bodybuilding side of life, or my lifting side of life, I guess. How I started and why I started. And pretty much here it is, I guess. I don't know. I feel like saying it. I haven't talked to anyone about this. I don't like talking to anybody about it. But I don't know. Just putting it out there to hear other people's, how maybe if if they have gone through similarly and how they deal with it or how they've dealt with it. It'd be pretty nice to hear. But so here we go. Anyway, pretty much I grew up in Ireland. I'm originally from Guatemala, but I was adopted and I've been growing up in Ireland. And pretty much in Ireland, the majority of people are white. So it was quite different for me and for everyone else because I'm coloured. I'm clearly coloured, and going into primary school um, was a change for them and a change for all the other kids that I grew up with. Pretty much, it was pretty. I would say primary school was hell. Was my version of hell. Um, I hated it. I hated it because, of course, the kids, when they were that age, they didn't really know it at the time, but they were being. Wouldn't I don't know. I may go far as saying racist. I'm not sure, but pretty much what it was, I would get singled out and picked out. I like if someone was getting picked for a team, I would be last picked. Simply because of the skin color. They call me weird and all this kind of stuff. Stuff like that. Even though it was simple little things like that, it gets to you. Slowly gets to you after about 6 years. It kind of gets to you. I got to be quite a bit. Same thing with basketball. I tried basketball. Same thing. Nah. Uh, Either I was picked last or I wasn't picked at all. Uh, Majority of the time it ended up me not being at all because they'd come up with a bullshit excuse that the teams were even, and if I joined it would uneven the teams. So I had to like walk around by myself at lunch and shit. So yeah. So primary school was over, and then secondary school, I had a little bit more higher hopes for secondary school because there was new people. I could have a new impression. I had, of course, I'm not like freaking 5 anymore. So I was coming in. I was like 12. No, I was 12. Was I 12? No, I was 15. Yeah, it was like 15, 16. I think it was 14. I don't know. I was either 14 or 15. Yeah, I was either 14 or 15. And I went into secondary school, and that wasn't as good. No, it wasn't. It wasn't as what I thought it would be because the people I was with the primary school, when they went into secondary school, they told everybody else of how they treated me, how it was hilarious, and the guys that then everyone at secondary school sort of jumped on that bandwagon, I guess, and yeah, it's kind of started all over again. But there were a couple of mature people there that didn't pick on me or didn't say anything, and they even said hello. But yeah, it wasn't really nice. I tried to do sports yet again. I tried to get into sports. I tried to get into a local Gaelic. No, wouldn't. They'd just be like, "We don't want you." Even though they didn't say it like that, you could pick it up from like, "We don't want you. Can you go away?" That kind of shit. They'd ignore me when I came in the changing room. It was not nice. So it was halfway through secondary school, and I saw a couple of videos on YouTube on bodybuilding and weightlifting. Now this was when I was about 15. I found out about it, and I don't know. I just thought seemed cool. First of all, of course, when you see it the first time, it's like, wow, muscles. Everybody wants muscles. That's what was my initial thought. So I went ahead and I invested, and it just was only like €100, and I invested in some like cheap like barbell, dumbbells and stuff like that. Just to have at home set, and I actually got a bench with it too. Just a home set, and I started following stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, and then it sort of started doing my own thing. Once I learned, I started doing my own sort of routine and stuff. But over time, that's when it started to hit me when I turned 16. It started to hit me a lot harder than I thought, because I would go to school and I would be very upset. Not very upset, but I dreaded going to school because of the picking and people calling me names and just being alone. Well, not being alone, but just not having a good day. And then I come home, eat dinner, do my homework, and then I go lift, and I loved it. But it's like when you're alone with the weight, you're looking in the mirror, and you see yourself, and you sort of, when you're alone in a room, you kind of tend to think, you overthink. Not even overthink, but you start to think really hard about things. And I got to the point where I would think a lot about either what happened that day and stuff from the past, and I'd start to get really angry, really angry, and it would start to build up, and it kind of helped me in a way as well, because I get really angry and I start lifting pretty heavy and stuff like that. But it's a real mind game. It's real, because I don't. When you're sitting there alone, it's like 1 a.m, and you don't want this to end. I like when I was lifting weights, I was enjoying lifting weights. I could see improvement in myself physically, mentally. I was not all there. It just wasn't adding up. But I could see myself physically improving. This was getting my hopes up a bit. Like I was happy about this, and but when you're there, like when I was there, I didn't want that to end. That night, 1 o'clock in the morning, I just didn't want this to end, because I knew when I woke up the next day, I'd have to go through shit pretty much, and it wasn't nice. And that's why I started to love bodybuilding, because when you're alone in the gym, the weights don't judge you. The weights won't judge you the color of your skin. The weights won't call you names. The only person you have to beat is yourself. And that's mainly why, because I had very little to no friends. I had a couple of friends that were okay. We didn't hang out a lot. We talked a little bit. We had similar interests, but not really. So I had very little friends. And weightlifting and bodybuilding it's helped me more than I think it has. Because not only am I in pretty good shape, but I don't know, I think it kept me sane from everything else more than anything. It kept me sane, And now I'm in university. I recently started university, and it's brilliant, because in university there's such a large, diverse number of people. You got Asians, you got Chinese, you got Africans, you got Americans, you got the Scottish, you got the English, and of all nationalities and of all colours. It's ridiculous, and it's just a really nice vibe. I'm getting into sports and everything else, so I've changed a lot as a person over those years, but those years will always sort of be lodged in there, and they only really come out when I'm in the gym. Because when you're sitting there alone, like I said, you start to think a lot, and a lot of things rush through your head. Everything you start thinking, and you think too much, you overthink, and it just sort of becomes a lot. That's why bodybuilding is quite a mental game more than a physical game, because you need to have a clear balance of being calm and sensible about it, and having just that hint of madness, hint of like the excitement, that drive, or that anger, but also just to keep yourself doing it. What I went through younger is what kept me doing it, because it made me happy. It really made me happy, seeing that development within me. And I don't know if any of you out there can relate to being bullied, and to sort of find something to bring you back to reality, and sort of get you out of that depressed feeling. Now, oftentimes in the gym, I got pretty depressed, because everything sort of came into each other. I kept thinking about how everyone like hated me, and not only hated me, but just didn't want to hang out with me or anything. Then I thought, then it was like the weights, like, why am I here? Why am I in here? You know, why am I out there trying to make friends? Well, I think it was a good thing that I was in there not trying to make friends, because those friends were not real friends. You know that those guys aren't real friends. You know, you just know. So, but university life's been brilliant so far. First semester, I'm in first year, and yeah, big change up. Uh, that's how I got into gaming as well when I was younger. When I finished the weights and stuff, wanted to do something else. So I got into PC gaming, and yeah. But I'm probably going to do regular, maybe often, a couple of uploads, gym uploads here and there of my progress and all that kind of stuff, just for the lulz and for me as well, that I can look back on in the years to come. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, really. Nothing much. That's sort of my story of how I started weights and why I'm still doing weights. I never really thought about competition or anything. Never really thought about competing or anything. I just want to sort of do it to release stress, to release anger. You know, it's like it's my church. But yeah, well, thanks for watching. Anyway, I hope you've watched all of it, and if you have, let me know if you've sort of been through anything similar, if you've sort of been bullied, and how you sort of came about to sort of bring yourself level, bring yourself sane, or how you dealt with it. Me personally, it was through weights and bodybuilding, and it helped me a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing much else I could say. Yeah. Peace.